So example 1 wants us to look at this formula and figure out what the vertex points are. You can't. I can't just look at this and go, oh, well, no. This is just the general form. So I could find out the roots of it if I wanted to use the quadratic equation or factor it. But I'm not going to find out what the vertex points are when it's in this format. Just doesn't work. But what I can do is change it into standard format by completing the square. So that's what they want us to do here. And basically, if I can change it into the format of y equals a times x minus p squared plus q, then I can just read the vertex points. You might be thinking to yourself, why couldn't I just put it in my graphing calculator? Well, you could, and you can to check your work, but you need to be able to do this algebraically, because one day I might take your graphing calculator away from you. So, what do we do first with this equation? Well, this equation's got a lot of big numbers in it, doesn't it? So the first thing that I'm going to look at is, especially with a number in front of the x squared, I want to get rid of that number. So we're going to factor it out. So, the weird part of this is I don't care about that one. So you have to kind of get it out of your head that you're going to take a 2 out of everything. You're just going to take a 2 out of the first 2. And lots of the equations they'll give you won't factor out all 3 of them. No one cares. No one cares about this one. He's just going to be out there until we deal with him, plus or minus kind of thing near the end. What we're focusing on is these 2, because these 2 are the ones that are going to complete our square. So my first step is going to be take this 2 out of those 2 and just leave the 24 there. Don't care about them for now. Now I need to find that middle term. So I'm just going to leave the 2 out here, but what I have to do is figure out what term is going to complete my perfect square and move on with the equation. So this is the part where I divide 8 by 2, gives me 4, square it, and 16 is actually the number that goes there. Because if I wanted to come up with this as my FOIL, and it was the same number, we've been through this, I would have to have 4 as the x plus number. So, the problem with doing this is I just randomly threw in a number, which means I have to toss it out again. So I'm going to go minus 16 to get rid of it, but there are 2 of them, so it has to be minus 16 times 2. So what's going to end up happening there is, now I can write this as x plus 4 squared, so that takes care of this part, but these guys still have to be resolved. I've got my plus 24 from there. Minus 16 times 2 gives me minus 32, so that's where this comes in. Then I have to simplify that. So y equals 2, x plus 4 squared. Negative 32 and positive 24 gives me negative 8 in total. And so I should have this as my final equation. Here's my p. Here's my q. Remember that for p you have to reverse the sign because this is supposed to be x minus. So I'll have my coordinate, or my vertex coordinates at negative 4 and negative 8. Isn't that so much easier than punching it into your, oh wait. Anyway, yeah, if you can take this general equation through the steps of completing a square, you will get this standard equation from which you can read the vertex points.